Hey, good morning, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today's video, we are gonna be working on the Corvette, um, but I do have an update for you guys on the bike, and let me go ahead and show you what's been done so far and what's needed, and what we're waiting on next. Excuse the mess. I've got my buddy working on the bracket for me. If you guys seen, it's kind of slim in the middle, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a box around it, so that way I don't have to go back and reroute these wires and take it out. So we're gonna just imagine the bracket, and then he's gonna weld like a square piece around it, so that way I can just go ahead and tuck in all these wires that I don't need, because I don't want to run these wires back and have to deal with the wiring. That's just gonna be more of a headache. So that's in the process right now. As we wait for the bracket to be done, I've got the holes cut out for it already for the fairing, and I've got new speakers for the bags and the fairing as well. Still working on the RPM gauge, speedometer, and the fuel and voltage for the fairing. So stay posted for that. That would be maybe in a couple videos down the road. But I remember we had plans about working on the Corvette. Well, got a transmission. I found this transmission on AES Corvette. The shipping and everything was good. It actually got here pretty quick, faster than I expected. If you guys have any experience with AES, please share with me in the comments below. But this one has 73 miles, 239,000. I got this for $608, which I think was a really good price, you know, considering the mileage that it has too as well. It already came with the torque converter, but if you guys know, working on the transmission on the Corvette is a pain in the butt, so I don't want to have to go through this process again, so I'm gonna go with a new torque converter. I got to go pick up the torque converter, a new one, and the filter for the transmission. I've already got new seals for the transmission. I got the front and the rear seals. Also got 12 quarts of transmission fluid as well. I've started on the car yesterday. So far, this is where we are. I've got, one thing I didn't know about the car, this thing came with QA1 suspension, which I think is pretty cool. It's a single dampener. I've already got the upper control arms taken off, the brake caliper off. Next, I need to take the axle off from the diff, and then this thing should be ready to drop. I gotta do that on both sides, and we should be ready to go. So yeah, let me just work on this a little bit more, and then I'll update you on the progress so far. Also, one thing I want to show you guys is look how wide these dang rims are. Yes, I know I need tires, but look how wide these are. I've never had rims on these. So now, see, so if you guys don't know, I came from freaking Hondas and Acuras. I've always had a Honda Acura. This is actually like my first American muscle car I've ever had. So running anything aggressive like this on a Civic or Integra is crazy. You gotta pull your fenders. You can't just roll your fenders. You gotta pull. Then you gotta add a camber kit and all that stuff. I'm just amazed on how these things freaking fit in the rear end of this dang car. But right now I am going to work on getting this dang e-brake bracket off, and then axle. Once the axle comes off, then we should be able to go ahead and drop the cradle. I gotta jack this thing up, compress the shock, unbolt it, drop that, and we should be good. Everything should be ready to be taken out. This thing is such a pain in the butt, having to change a transmission on a car like this, but I'm more of a DIY person, and you know, I'm always willing to learn something new. So for me, this is gonna be a learning experience, you know, that I can use later down the road in case I gotta change my transmission again or help a buddy out with theirs. So this is a progress on where we're at so far. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing taken out, the axle and the shock, and then we should be able to drop the cradle, and then next work on the transmission. First, I'm gonna have to go ahead and start changing the seals on the transmission. changing the seals. I'm waiting for my uncle to pick up the filter for me and the torque converter, like I said before. So I'm going to change the front and rear seal of the transmission. This is just a stock 4L60E. They do have an upgrade automatic transmission that's highly recommended, but I'm trying to get this thing on the road. My son's been bugging me to get it fixed so I can take him to and from school, so he's really excited about this Corvette. So I'm just trying to get this thing, get it running, getting on the road, and then we can upgrade more parts from there. I really wish this thing was 6-speed, but unfortunately, that's what we got for now. That's what we're gonna work with. First Corvette. I'm just gonna enjoy it for the time being, and we'll see how it goes. And maybe I might just upgrade to a manual or a C6 or something. We'll see how this thing goes. But yeah, this is where we are now. Gonna get back to work on this thing, and then I'll go ahead and update you guys on the progress. All right, little progress. Shout out to the homie Beto for helping me out. Good looking. But right now we just got the cradle off. Honestly, for the first time doing it, wasn't so bad of a job. What do you think, Beto? That's pretty hard or what?
Nah, it's cool. Simple.
Not too bad. As long as you take your time. Time and patience is key. So as long as you take your time, we'll be good. We got the harness out so far. Right now, we're just going through everything and making sure that there's no harnesses caught up or anything while we take the transmission off. We got the cooling lines off on the other side, harness off on this side. One thing that you guys need to note that on these GM harnesses, for every Chevy car they use, they seem to use a glue for the harness. So we used the hair blow dryer to kind of heat it up a little bit to loosen up the harness. But we got everything off. The shift linkage cable is off, and this thing is almost ready to go. That's your fuel filter right there. But training's almost ready to drop, and we should be good. Which one? Like a 14?
Yep.
14?
Yeah.
Yep. So we got a couple bolts there on the bell housing. It looks like about 2, 4, probably like 7 bolts total. And then this the transmission and the diff should be ready to come out. Look at this diff, it's gunky. So as soon as I get this out, I'm gonna go ahead and pressure wash it, clean it up. Check the seals, make sure there's no other leaks around in there. And everything should be good to go. So as soon as we get this off, I'll go ahead and update you guys back on the progress and what we got done so far. Also note, on the Corvettes, the torque tube, it gives you a little warning. There's a certain, how would you say it, angle or whatever with the torque tube. So you gotta be very careful with it, because if you drop that torque tube down, the motor's gonna go up into the firewall, and you don't want to damage that. So be careful when you're taking this off. I got the jack here supporting the torque tube at stock at the height it is right now, with the transmission still installed, so that way there is no that way it's leveled and it's not hanging down right now. So since we get this thing off, I'll go ahead and update you guys on the progress. And just like that, guys, we got the transmission out. You know, to be honest, it wasn't even that bad of a job. It's just my knee is messed up. It's been messed up like the past week. It's hard for me to bend. But we got the transmission out. I got the torque tube leveled to where it was before we pulled the tranny, so the torque tube is safe. Shouldn't be any issues with it. With the motor hitting the firewall, so should be good. Yeah, still got some clearance back there, so we're straight on that part. We're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pressure wash the diff, clean it up a little bit with some degreaser, get this thing nice and cleaned up while it's out, so it'll look good with the new transmission that we're putting in. So that'll be the next step, and then we'll be ready to get this thing back in the car. All right, guys, that's gonna conclude today's video. We're gonna finish up tomorrow. Reason being is because I need the torque converter, but unfortunately I have to will call it, and by the time I was ready to go pick it up, will call was already closed. So we're gonna pick this up tomorrow morning and finish it. So far I got the diff onto the new transmission that we're gonna go ahead and use. Got that semi bolts up right now, and then tomorrow this thing should be in, and we should be able to go ahead and take this thing for a test drive. I do got to go to AutoZone real quick to go pick up the pump for the transmission fluid. So, and then once we get that, oh, and I also forgot that when you do this and you drop the cradle, you have to take off the brake line. So now I gotta, bleed the brakes before test driving it, of course. But yeah, so that's gonna conclude for today's video, and then we'll pick this up first thing in the morning. If you watched through the video, I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Do me a favor, subscribe, like, comment if you like more videos like this, or if you like the content so far. Let me know down in the comments below. You guys can follow me on my Instagram. I'll leave it in the description as well. And we'll just go for there. So again, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it.